So chapter 23, Timajurliana, he'd quick a share, Augustin Friotaíocht. Okay, so just remember the gene screen share. Frank, does add the mail host on us?
Yeah.
Yeah, we Jack's at the technical issue, so good and is never shot. But right, well, Anna Ableton PowerPoint,
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
So, Tashmid left Friotaíocht, so chapter 23. So sen vi ni Friotaíocht, so what is resistance? So an different potential trasner or shelter a governess leis through a shrab and tree sin Friotaíocht and shelter. So reached more in Chester Jared Friotaíocht is the exam just because she's Friotaíocht codron voltage rant and true. Okay, so V over I. I guess it is just she's V codron voltage, I codron through or codron Friotaíocht. Okay, so very straightforward. Okay, now Mercury is their boiler here quick she. Now as electrons move through a metal, they continually collide with atoms and lose energy. So this energy appears as heat. And conductor so as the electrons is free. So in this way, the material of the metal resists the movement of the electric charge through it. So Brian charge jinking metal ton. So for example, copper by ni copper so skumai but legan shot on flow. Ligget done electrons flow free gumai, whereas the locka has the costla a wire to this toaster. There's more collisions, so less resistance, more flow of electrons, more collisions, and therefore the change has this widening sphere. So different conductors oppose current by different amounts. So for most conductors, if you increase the potential difference across them, the current flowing through them increases. If a conductor offers a lot of opposition, so therefore a large potential difference causes only a small current and the ratio of V to I, so i.e. V renter I is large. Now, if a conductor offers a little opposition, a large potential difference causes a large current and the ratio V is to I is small. Okay. Now, the last two facts are used to define the new quantity called resistance of a conductor, so Sen Vini and Friotaíocht. So it is to Friotaíocht cosma V is given I. Now, to Friotaíocht toasty in ohms. So it is just an ohm letter Greek letter omega, usen should von je ohms von je unit da init ohms. Okay, so is a ohm and init SI de Friotaíocht. It's reached sen we an ohm. So what is the ohm? So I say hin ohm and Friotaíocht sa shalta mata hin amp extrabutreed nur ta hin voltage and different potential trasna. So 1 ohm is equal to 1 amp extrabu flowing through of 1 volt potential difference. Okay. Problem 1, find the resistance of a conductor if it carries a current of 4 amps when the potential difference across the 20 volt. I guess it is just lean shaft formula. I guess you to quick ohm. Now, another time we take tosh Friotaíocht. He got a piece of metal be lucky. I guess usimid the hermage ohm meter. Okay. Now, faster because the ohm meter toshin shan Friotaíocht. Higlin voltmeter I guess amp meter is a faster because switchy go ohms codumla it is meant to packaging formula to ohms codumla a voltage around and through. So most of then your voltmeter I guess amp meter then we Ableton Friotaíocht or obruma faster I guess such a vertication I guess check my adlation and see had couple of lianella. Okay. So reached a tosh Friotaíocht, so reached Sharo the Hermage multimeter, I guess kai to a ohms and so. So reached branch at Jane, shin for your amps, to count for your voltage, count for your ohms, I guess by setting and show at so make to chef to omega for your ohms a hosh. So it's for your ohm meter usadly Friotaíocht the hosh, lane she Friotaíocht rather be a count your trasna and Farkin Taradari, so shin the connectors bug and shaw, so rather be connected and shaw. Now, Kaitvi the Kuruman to the goose in the connector shaw, because ter rubber resistivity call away egg the cable shaw fast egg rod so Kaitvi shin go ni a whole shed away, shall a host into Friotaíocht and then bun to shin the mahas. So just can you come to go ni rubber Friotaíocht a gall of egg cables done, prong and shaw. Okay. Now, it's featured dry-hit meters, so Wheatstone Bridge, I guess Chuck Majadlashin, to cancel Labogun, so hopefully my end back in the Scholar River March, by Mountain Wheatstone Bridge, a Heshmandiv, I guess the experiment, Bugla Genu La Lashon. Okay, so is féidir dreichid meter bridge or Wheatstone bridge úsáid, no is féidir amp meter agus voltmeter úsáid le fritiart a hós fásta. Okay, so just rud a le higlat úsáid le fritiart a hós. Okay. Na raimid réin sin te meice tú ar buir le hena chéad chuige seart. Now sin is an analog ohm meter. So a réist níor sé digital, so níhfuirte go crunn sin, but a réist tá tónaíach sin stí lab going now that it's obviously 30 years, but no, actually the machine sin seart agus sin bit 20 years revision, so it's had about 40 years old. But a réist operin is perfect agus ní féart le bont le fanat le batteries na rud a beamer sin. So a réist rud a chorn the moving coil ohm meter. Rudda le higlat úsáid le ohms a hós. Okay. Now, a réist raimid ré go dtí lí ohm sin. So, Ohm's law. So, ag chart tadise, bhí na srút sé seoltarí airthe, metal din coide smó a ggóir gira leis an potential defrial potential trasna atú. Okay. So, a réist tas go ghfuil I a ggóir gira leis a V. So, I an srú agus V an voltage. So at least if you increase the current, you increase the voltage. If you increase the current by 3, you increase the voltage by 3. Because but you can actually in the ledger and then the image metal heartless circuit, the bulbs because routine or how much Swiss increase on which a voltage we image Ableton through heart a circuit at a faster. Okay. Now make it to our bon lehana so chli o mention lacru. Tá sin ar chéad peidir agus má fága mar sin bommate, so má hen tú back ar lena chéad chuige seart sin in the text lore. Now, circuit diagrams and circuit symbols. Now, the good news is river seo, we're good na symbols, agus na symbols in the league all them off by heart. Gudi gedanik half as gudi hanig log tables half a 2010 number sin hanig log tables is agus it leaks the log tables. So my just my stop screen share. So my are the log tables. To our page o sharp moda array kuji couple lehena. Chef to go on the circuit symbols a leak in. I guess actually Chikishni knees are Hanny Kishni's playing wine or pepper physics where the short answer question hooks a symbol. I guess there's a name the symbol. I guess you know get the hog the log tables, quarting symbol cart, I guess just an animal species, I guess the short work of it. So it is to rods now Sean the resistors and short to you go kind of that's meet you and shot to the tolerant shot the capacitors. So it is make this the resistors the start to get into the road the different I guess the symbols at the law. Okay. So make it to a fixed resistor just on the box. I guess it is so in the ruddy bucket have to but you grow a dealer law river. The image build a speaker, hannig to resistors, I guess the bands bucket the henny at. So shin is symbol for you know dealing the bands bucket the henny. Now a variable resistor, now a rheostat. So nakishu it can motivate ogum say exvita Ableton resistance at how naked then you be a go shin. Can you give us we shall to fiente more which we can that you know that tube more further do I guess the coil rappel to harder but you complicate coil rappel to harder I guess to you know the bar and shiny get top I guess the connector and shot the connector he's and shot I guess the connector he's and shot I guess the east the slider and shiny good I guess the shiny balloon coil at the I guess he gets in the slide on some non-sinal finding resistance at her. So it is shinner the hormid rheostat, I guess shin a symbol for the honey shun. Now preset variable resistor the heat in these recurses so I wouldn't worry about the condition. Potential divider shin in so shin he like can bagala chefty at better metal work than you beat the metal work. You two variable resistor bug siglet a screw bug or top twistal I guess the Dalton 30 at her. Den thermistor agus an sin agus den light dependent resistor an sin. So couple of the higlam hashbandíh má himid back na scala be má in the component sin a hashbandíh. Was okay? So just rub all this are the components different. Now, rís til list the more components and show ag bundle lehanna, agus rís ní féart dolum ní smó, because this is legacy in log tables. Now, he's a bun lehanna here quick a short. Some conductors are specially made to have a resistance of a specific value. Agus net hig the bands dehanista. So higlet resistors of cost at 210 ohms, 53 kilo ohms, or ig breher in the dehani bands. Now, variable resistors, so chef does it actually the factor we can do a page lehanna here quick our so can we make it adjustment div. So rheostat and shen agus and shen to variable resistor and shen like carbon tracking. So shin the ruddy buggy on to higlet the chassis to have sessions you ruddy ni slew, he get through test at our using the radios agus ruddy tuner variable resistors. Okay, so it is clear more shin the resistors different a higlet there. Okay, now okay, yeah, drawing. I don't think we'll fair teaching all them off by heart. Where the genuine an option journey into text or the genuine option journey to text then we're all good kind of done working drawings for sure all them but at least just ask a jigging you can do open shit. Okay, now Mohammed good then you could Ohm's law I guess in material fette said la shaw harange I guess couple of toshi script she's but me jad and graph a harange so sooner to me get a nu se wrong on you. Okay, so me and just screen share I guess try me could g fette now yes a fossil jump so just do a couple of seconds give machine janta Right, would you have then circuit program here?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So it is just trial image. Hopefully the variable resistor aku. Resistor different. Well, it is both variable. That means he glen you a machine, I suppose. You'll actually in the circuit and show aku. Right, more ruddy yellow wires. Right, okay. So ruddy enemy just image touch me your battery. I guess it reached image your battery in the hinge just do I touch as a diagram or then yeah here we get art tension. Image share resistor no short set value resistor. Chintin in dehani. I guess it reached my clicking to the resistor wherein share 10 ohm stitch. When we add into it, I could add in the dehani. Ik breher gin resistance at all, so it is to chanting to my aku where is very in the denny did the resistor to your lot. So Higgins knew said more variable resistor because Higgins yet how he's in show. Okay. The voltmeter yoller I guess the ammeter yoller. Okay, so the couple of connection the journey. So just lay on just tidy also. So connected to go okay, so this one got she's good ammeter. I guess it is to a goal now the coil you learn. So a coil of wire or a metal conductor. Now obviously Nielsen and Celestin show paperclip, nothing no bright paperclip. I could do hopefully the paperclip the real I suppose as a piece of wire. So when you material this one, just put in the crack. So just like our tanker coil wires on. Okay. So this one got fast negation. I guess then current to flow. Okay. Now reached merchant as a paperclip was I thought right the problem on you I thought resistivity be doing funny paperclip. So usually we set resistivity I get paperclip and show so yes that's in doing so Caibidil running at a lot of hand in the edge. So run the image now Jane resistivity at ag wire. So it's tiny, right? So if I mention, like when I see the huckling horizon, suppose huckling bulb horizon, because you know the bulb jump the coil was a top, so more just a bulb. At least in tasking goal set, click into a bulb to set resistance I get 1,000 ohms. So he can just like our time go home just have coil wire at resistivity that 1,000 ohms I get. Was it okay? I guess the reached in voltmeter got trasna a current shot, so can I guess can he's I guess he's I guess we should do a resistance trasna circuit and so it reached in the circuit image equal so voltage chin to well solid equal I guess the flow the electrons equal for each image resistance it reached could you 0 I guess the voltage of this 8 volts. So these take that the voltage so lock the resistance 0 to voltage 8 and bulb equal. Okay, I guess the 0.10 amps the current flow. At in resistance and shunt could you Jeremy 10 ohms. I guess it is to hatch a voltage she's could 99.01 volts. So Ruddy Anderson used the equipment in figure 23.6. Now by varying the rheostat, so short the rheostat and short the variable resistor. So he can add how he's in show. And the potential difference across the metal conductor are varied. So measure a series of values of I and the corresponding values of V, and then plot a graph. So these are just settles as the circuit to let near more values to voltage in it resistance in it voltage agus the delta the graph a hand and land the values like okay. So may image back again PowerPoint. Hoarding graph cost show. Okay, so ohm graph this through in a voltage bracket the shelter at the ohm, so mini crew and graph. So these are just when linear gira freedom bon funche a crew goal and voltage a go rare gira lish and true. So mer goal and true a go rare gira lish and voltage and graph on the linear gira a dot freed and bon funche. So shin ohm's law. Okay. Now my image rain is could you Ukashni then be for the session Ulahan and you okay lesson?
Yeah.
And you okay. At least Wallentive download all effect circuit AC DC circuit diagrams and I guess be play heartless because the could roll a full near to do especially near to go circuits. Okay. Now hydrodilla and a resistors in series I guess in parallel. Okay. So just couple of fudgely ohm, but a shelter uwildagely ohm, or send the remer arian and voltage V at a trasne arian and through I as rabin street faster. A fanen and caveness the V lay I again Lua kernel. So the ratio remains the same because this is directly proportional. So lay her ballala the remer arian and voltage agus and through fanen and Friotaíocht marigerne. So if you change the current and the voltage, the resistance remains the same. Now, erasing the symbols in the circuits like so erasing like that is this your table. Okay. Now, Friotaíocht triangle, so connected in series. Now, Friotaíocht in triangle, just related 3 Friotaíocht triangle. So to cotomate and Friotaíocht effectual done through. So what's the total resistance of all 3? Now, my angle to must measure this voltage to scale the rod kernel more voltage like plus la minus you to V equals V1 plus V2 plus V3. Rod kernel are resistors. We're to yet the leak in series like hella someone to lua the resistor. So the total resistance comes from R1 R plus R3. Now, kite the Appleton formula show cruhu. Agus the screecher lena ye hit quicken lui. So more hint to g boil ye hit quicken lui just remit freechin. So what's the boil lena ye hit proof of the formula. So in figure let V1, V2 and V3 be the voltage across each resistor. Okay, so let the current through each be I. So if V is the voltage and R is the total resistance between A and B, then Ohm's law gives V equals IR. So basically what at the end, just a little marker, to the target shot the 3 resistor, can the way Barch agus true. Okay, so we could image R1, R2, agus R3. Okay, now the rest could image voltage trasna, so V1, V2, agus V3 sin the voltage go trasna a han resistor. Agus rest to let V be the voltage and R let V1, V2, and V3 be the voltage across each resistor, and let the current through each be I. So rest and through current I, it got for each 3 resistor. Okay. So rest test going Ohm's law will be codumla IR. Okay. So rest apply Ohm's law to each resistor. So we are all 3 resistors. So rest chef to will V heen codumla I midi for R heen to V da codumla I for R da against the V3 codumla I for R3. Okay. Now, so now test ogun now the 3 voltage connected in series ogun test going go V codumla V heen plus V da plus V3. Okay. So when you V1, V2, V3, then we add the 3 symbols on us IR or H. So we substitute. So you to IR1 plus IR2 plus IR3. So then we just the sum of the net voltage in this test going to go through midi from Friotaíocht. Okay. Now he can show what you must in the current for R1 plus R2 plus R3. Okay. So it is test going faster. Malakamich heen V equals IR, so shin ever the heen. I guess Malakamich ever the da. So to V in chocolate da IR function. So shin ever the da. Okay, la hille. So test going to go all. Higlin shin swapal to I for R cosmla I, so higlet the I haluma, and therefore to me justify that R equals R1 plus R2 plus R3. Okay, agus in a cruchu don kid formula. Okay, and then you okay lesson?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So reached sin resistors in series. Now we have resistors in triangle, so in parallel. So time shot and voltage from it in all 3. Okay, so make it as a connection to voltage marigerne. So just related 3 fretter a triangle le helle. Agus reached Caibidil out in formula in the faster. Okay, so henish can R cosmo 1 over R1 plus 1 over R2 plus 1 over R3. So reached 10 Fisic bonliana head quick and so just rama free channel a doi land formula in the crew. Okay, so it is to let the 3 resistor. Can we legal hille? Okay, because it is to shin the got free. Now, shin the current I the got free and shun. Okay, so current is I1, I2, I guess I3. So can you current flowing into the junction? So should the comer and shots. So when through it extrapolates just a comer, cosmic some omlan is through chart the mass comer. Okay, so you to R1, R2, I guess R3, I guess obviously the voltage kernel got free a whole lot because this isn't parallel. Okay, so it is merken to a bon lehana, head quick and la shin kruhu. So in figure 2310, the current I flow in the conjunction, so to reach the majority 3 formula schema. So to I1, so to so must meet to V equals IR. So these tests can call I cosmla V is gone R. So malakmij I heen. Tashin cosmla V is gone R1, I da, cosma V is gone R2, against the I3, cosma V is gone R3. So to majadishin is screw when you all 3 resistors. Okay. Now test going faster, goal I is through a golishja. Cosma is some omlan is through to chart the mass. So the shin cosma I heen plus I dó plus I 3. Okay, so srú go just a comer, cos me is some omlan a srú chart a mas a comer. Now reach funja I1, tas kun I cos ma V is gan R, which the cos ma V is gan R1 plus V is gan R2 plus V is gan R3. Okay, so reach Higlin a like a factorize in terms of V. Okay, so we're into V to meet in bracket and showing you to heen is gan R. Codmla agus tur V ran an other V in sin, so you to heen is gan R1 plus heen is gan R2 plus heen is gan R3. Agus ten ye voltage I callu ma, and therefore to mit fact la heen is gan R, codmla heen is gan R1 plus heen is gan R2 plus heen is gan R3. Agus sin a cruhu. Chickadee is actually go minic or pepper screw. The may into back freed couple of screw the journey. That have to go diagrams can you calculate the total resistance. I guess prove the formula. So it is my to Kavni through Goliath junction, Cosman through Chartama, and then V equals IR, and then just sub Shaha to Tableton formula. Okay. So shin proof that Jaru Yana Yahid Quiga no Yinshan. Okay. Negation exercise 23.1. Okay, so legi hin freed problem 4 agus problem 5. So just kissney bunny here or resistance agus in the formulas. So funny the loon funny darna wrong the loon jokulov exercise 23.1 kissney Joe what does it get fed kiss Joe while of Vienna
Arthur.
Arthur 1-8. So to KJ question, yeah, that's fine with me, yeah. So my hints you could 1-8 for your upper baller, do se for your Tranona de Loon. That'll be perfect. Okay. Question then you No, well, that's it.
No,
so that's it. So soon maybe we make it Aljan to you. So my initial exercise 23.118 and Lori Millev at least Tranona. So at least the Loonian is wrong going to touch their Doyego hog. Okay, so very soon cost la jam moment that la pactor lock it at the fragri egg horogum. Okay, so it is Doyego hog a handle Loonian show ma be wrong a wine physics. Was it okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Right out. Flat us.
My good.
Flat.
My good.